Hey friends, in this video, I am just giving you examples of how I schedule my time. There's no rocket science, there's no magic. I don't have a wand. I'm not pulling anything out of a hat. I just schedule around. I create a fun schedule that works for me, non-stress, no boss, just me, creating the business and the life that I want. So stay tuned for this video. Hey friends, welcome back to a Reseller's Passion YouTube channel. My name is Leslie and I do all the things and I wear all the hats. And I started off that way because this video is about me and my scheduling. Someone asked me on Instagram how I get so much done, how I accomplish so much, and it is not rocket science. There's nothing special. I don't have any magic powers. I'm not, developing any potions or anything like that. I just kind of have figured it out as I went along. I play around with time. I play around with the schedule. I'm going to get into a little bit more, but I'm just kind of, letting you know there's nothing, no hidden secrets. That one of the reasons that I can get a lot done is I have more time than I did before. Well, the same amount of time in a day, but I don't have small children like a lot of people do. I don't work outside of the home like a lot of people do. And what I will say is I've done that. I've been there. I've been a mom. I've been married before my husband that I'm married to now. I had a family, I had 5 children. I stayed at home. I homeschooled. I have a daughter on the spectrum. I have a daughter with a medical condition. So I sacrificed a lot and I had to wear a lot of hats. And now my youngest daughter with the medical condition is a freshman in college in medical school, pre-med program. So it's not a lot. It's no secret, nothing magic about what I'm doing, and I'll tell you in a few minutes. So as always, I wrote some things down. I haven't figured out my teleprompter app yet, so I have some things written down on a piece of paper. It keeps my mind focused. I always write things down. The first thing that I do is I write down everything that I need to do in my planner. This is my passion planner. I'll leave the link below if you want to use my coupon code Leslie10, passionplanner.com. And I use this. I'm a person who writes things down on paper anyway. Like, I'm a list person. Like, I will scratch stuff on pieces of paper all day long. This is how I, remember things. If I keep pieces of paper and Post-its next to me. So if an idea comes to my mind, I'm writing it down. Just like I have to write down my little notes to talk to you. So I write everything down. Okay. So this is what I do. So I write down a schedule or some, like, just a little list. I try to do that on Sunday. I'll write just a blank list of everything that I want to focus on from Sunday to Saturday, depending on how much I'm working. I even include personal things. So it doesn't just have to be work related. Washing my clothes, cleaning my bathroom, things like that. I have no small children. I cook very little now. I raise everyone in my house to cook. My husband cooks. No one complains that they don't eat. My children know how to follow recipes and cook complete meals. One of my children happens to be a chef who happens to be out of work because of the pandemic. So I don't have to do anything that I don't want to anymore. I clean my house when I want to. That's one of the things that gets pushed to the back burner. I don't do a lot of cleaning. There's no one in here to tell me that I have to do it because I basically run things. My husband doesn't care. He loves the way that I am and I love the way that he is. So no one's pressuring. He's never said, you need to cook or anything like that. We don't have that kind of relationship. There's no expectation. So basically my days are my own. And that's really how it is. No one's over my shoulder. I don't have a boss. My youngest daughter is 18. There's nothing I have to deal with. I'm in advisory mode. I don't parent anymore. She asks for advice. I give her advice. She has a warm bed to sleep in and a place to call home until she goes off to college. But my parenting days are done. I have children, but I'm no longer a parent. I advise now. And so I don't have the responsibilities that I used to have and that so many people have. So I can do more than a lot of people can. But then also I can do really what I want to. When I first came home to work this business, I worked all the time until I figured out the kinks of the business, till I decided what I wanted to do, how much I wanted to work. If I want to work all day, 7 days a week, then I will. If I want to take 2 days off, then I will. If I don't want to do anything at all, then that's how it works for me. But I do work because I want the income to come in, and I always have ideas and I always want to implement them. I want to make videos. I want to have my podcast. I want to go live on Instagram. I want to hang out with my friends. I want to go on Zoom. So there's all these things that I can do because I want to. Why do I do them? Because I want to. Why do I do them? Because I can, because I'm alive and I have the ability to do it. So you have to figure out what's important to you. I do have an ebook called The Reseller Survival Guide, Practical Advice for Aspiring Resellers. I've sold over 900 copies since February 2020. It's December 2020 now. So that's like amazing to me, where I break everything down. Some basic reselling. A lot of people, if they were to advertise my ebook, they would say it's for new people, but there's a lot of information in there about scheduling, budgeting, taxes, so much information that even experienced resellers probably wouldn't know. And it is from my perspective. I just go from A to Z on how to run a business, how to go full-time. If you want to go full-time, I break it down from my perspective and how I became a full-time seller. I am full-time and I am home, not as a reseller, but as an entrepreneur. So the first thing that I do, as I just said, I write a list, and this is how my list is broken down. So after I've written down all the things I want to accomplish in the week, I focus on the most important things. So on Sunday, I write the full list of I just doodle. I just write a list of things that can be done. I don't put them in my passion planner because they're not set for the week. So I will go on Monday. When I get up on Monday, I'll take my passion planner. I'm gonna have a daily planner, so it's specific days, and I write the date at the top, and then I write down everything that needs to be done. If I go live, like tonight I'm going live, I'll write the time in there and all the other things that go into my day. And so from my list, I'll pick the top 5 things that need to be accomplished. It's Monday. I've probably, slacked off and watched Netflix all weekend. So I'll write down those 5 things, but then I'll put the top 3, and I'll work from that. So my goal is to accomplish 5, but if I can get 3 things done, then I will. And if I don't get all 5 done, the last 2 become the most important on Tuesday. And the same thing happens on Wednesday. So Tuesday, the 2 that I didn't get accomplished from the 5 from Monday get added to Tuesday's list. And then I add 3 more things. And the goal again is to get 5. But if I don't get 5, I try to get 3. And I don't, bash myself or come down on myself if I don't get them accomplished, because the key was writing down the top 3. Everything that you're doing every day is not the most important. There are things that you have to get done, but they're not the most important. So that's the thing that you need to understand. If you can decide in yourself every single day, look at your business, look at your personal life, and decide what is more important. And you can break it down. Like in my ebook, I break it down in every aspect. I break it down for a person who works a job and is running a business. Break it down for a stay-at-home mom who is running a business. I break it down for a student. I give you different scenarios that you can create a schedule for. So you have to create a schedule that works for you, because sometimes we don't think of everything. We just think like straight ahead, like I got to get this done. I got to get this done. I got to get that done. And if I thought like that, I would just go drive myself crazy to do that. I don't have a boss. I don't consider myself a boss. I consider myself a business owner, and I run my business. That's an interesting thing that we use. Like, I'm my own boss. I'm just running a business. I'm not a boss. A boss is someone that I report to. I don't report to myself. I work for myself. So you have to figure out a schedule that works for you. So once you've finished the top 3, and if you don't get the 5 done, carry the 2 over, add 3 more. and just get to work and keep doing that through the course of the week. The most important thing is getting all that important stuff done. To me, laundry's not important. I don't wash my clothes until I run out of socks and underwear. In the summertime, it's underwear because when it gets chilly, I wear socks on my feet. And in the summertime, I don't. And that's the truth. I don't wash anybody's clothes but my own. My husband washes his own clothes. My daughters have been all my children have been independently washing their own clothes since they were 8. They've been independently cooking since they were 10 and cooking major family meals by the time they were 12. So I have laid the foundation for anybody that lives in my house. They don't require anything from me. Everybody works, so everybody contributes financially. So that is where I'm at right now. So you have to figure out where you are. Okay? So now for social media, I create a social media calendar. It's really important, a content calendar, because I like to be very active on Instagram. I like to post 2 to 5 times a day with really great content. I like to create stories. I like to take pictures all day. So what I'll do is I'll take a bunch of pictures, I'll film a lot of video, and then I'll release it during the course of the day in my stories. I'll take one main photo. If you are in my community on Instagram, you know I'll start the day off with a photo. Sometimes it'll change up depending on like if I'm out or something. But like even today, I started the day with a photo with me in a productive mode. And then I give you a story or I give you something to think about. And then I have a call to action that allows you to respond. So that's all on purpose. Like I have an organic way and a strategic way in which I grow social media, but I write down some ideas. I will never use a scheduling app because my life changes. I don't want it to be automated. I don't want people to go, okay, on Monday, wow, that's the same thing she did last week. I create a lot of content and then I place it in strategically during the day, whether it be a quote, whether it be even if it's my husband's birthday, or if my husband, I take pictures of him while he's at the bins or something like that. I want it to be all organic. If I'm, talking, if I have want to talk about something again, I'll throw my shirt in there, but I'll be talking about something else. And at the end, I'll say, hey, if you want to buy a shirt, that's how you appeal to customers. So a content calendar is really important. You can just use an everyday calendar. I like to print out a calendar and fill it in as if, each day. So I try to focus on Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter. Let me see, the podcast, which is twice a week, YouTube, which is 3 to 5 times a week videos. So that is all my social media. It's not hard. For Instagram, I have a page, and then Instagram is owned by Facebook. So I have a page on Facebook. They're the same name. Any content that I release on Instagram instantly gets connected to Facebook. So I've created 2 pieces of content, and then I share my post to Pinterest or I share my post to Twitter. And now on Instagram, you're actually able to connect your Twitter as well. It's like little buttons that when you're creating a post, I would say look down on there. If you've connected your Twitter and your Facebook to your Instagram, then you'll be able to hit this little button. It turns it blue. If you create a post, it will instantly go over to your page, whether it be Twitter or whether it be your Facebook page. I highly suggest creating a Facebook page, especially if you want to create a shop and have some clickable links. That's another video, which if I remember, I'll put it up in the corner, but if not, it is a video that's available where I teach you how to create a Facebook shop where you can drop your items in there and have a clickable link on Instagram. So creating a calendar is really important if you want to get more active. People ask me, how am I so active and how are my numbers large? It was all organic. It was by accident. I had no plan on even ever being at this point, having a community or making videos or anything like that. And everything's been a process for me. So I say to you, if you're interested in doing Instagram and social media and getting better with that, create content that is going to also create engagement. So write a calendar that you can follow. If you want to, post on Instagram just 3 days a week, then do that. But if you want your Instagram growth, create content every day if you can. One post, take a bunch of pictures, change your shirt, do something creative. That's what I do for videos. You might see this shirt tons of times, and that's because I create sometimes 4 videos in a day, and then I release them out throughout the day. One of the main things, especially if you're a reseller watching this, you should be batch working. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. I've been batch working since the very beginning, especially when I was still working. And batch working is basically doing a whole lot of work at one time so you can have results later. Now, this is how I batch work. It's changed over the years, but now that I'm home, and then also because I have other businesses, I'm creating digital products, I'm creating videos, and I'm hosting the the podcast. Oh goodness, I'm gonna take some water. Yeah, when you talk a lot, it gets like that. So, because I'm creating and doing a lot of things, I work in batches, but this is my thing, my takeaway. I only focus on Monday and Wednesday for taking photos. Every now and then I might fit some stuff in, like I did fit a couple things in. I got a couple great Jomar boxes in this weekend, and I was like, oh, this stuff is cool. Let me take a quick couple of pictures. Maybe I can get some stuff sold right away. But what I do is I get up on Monday, I set my coffee. It's like 10 minutes for my coffee to brew. So if I wash clothes, I might take my clothes down into the basement, throw them in the wash, and then while the coffee is still brewing, I'll go into my little studio, which is my dining room, which is connected, of course, to the dining room slash family room. And that's my photo studio area. And I usually have things hanging on the rack. I'll separate and do about 10 things. I probably already steamed a bunch of stuff like last week. And so I only work in batches of between 5 and 10. I try not to do like a whole lot of photos at one time to overwhelm myself. But so a good day, I could probably get 20 photos in. So as my coffee is going, and I might go over maybe 5 minutes. So 15 minutes, I give myself a 15-minute window. Then my rack is right there. And then I'll start putting some stuff and then taking pictures, whether it be shoes, whether it be tops, coats, jackets, anything like that. I take them on a wall. I have a chair where I take my shoes. I'll use the mannequin. And then once I hear my coffee start gurgling, I may make a cup and do additional 5 minutes, but that's when I do all my batching. That includes steaming, photographing, and then I bring my things up. I just created a new rack in my bedroom, which is my landing area, and then I can slowly take those and, list them. But then the other thing that I do with the batching is, so I've taken all my photos. Now I decide what platform I'm going to sell them on, because I sell vintage on Etsy and I cross-listed to eBay. That's my new thing. And then everyday stuff on Poshmark, hard goods on Mercari and eBay. So I'll put everything together, and then what I start doing is listing things into drafts. I put it into drafts. I love Etsy because you can put over probably about 200 things in drafts. I have plenty of stuff. I don't even have this. I have stuff in drafts, and I have things that need photos. But because I have so many drafts, I have the opportunity to work when I want. Things for Poshmark, I have drafts in there. So as soon as my photo is in my phone or in my tablet, after I come upstairs, I'll sit down. If I have to adjust the photo in any way, I use Pick Tap Go. And if I have to adjust the photo, I go through and adjust all the photos, and I just drop them into the drafts. Then the drafts allow me to work during the course of the week. I'm not a person who needs to have 20 listings a day. Everyone's different. And if your goal is 20 listings a day, then go for it. But I have everything in my drafts, and that is just so much comfort, because that's like, if you don't feel like getting up in the morning, right? You can lay in the bed and you can write everything down in a book if you want to, or you can wait until you're in your office and have the item and measure and everything. Or as you're taking photos, after you've taken your photos, then go and measure everything, carry a little book around. That's how I used to do it when I first started. I had a black and white composition book. I wrote all the measurements, and I would carry that book. And at the time when I first started, I was still a chauffeur mom. So at my son's soccer game, I could open the book, pull out the picture that was in my draft, and just list my item. And that's what I do now. I list from the drafts, so that I don't have to, okay, every day I gotta take 20 photos. I take enough photos Monday and Wednesday to last me during the course of the week. And if I want, I can squeeze in some extra photos, and hopefully that makes sense to you. Okay, so then the other technique that I have is, I've always been a cross lister and I've always been a relister, and I did all that on my own, like organically. But in September, I decided to try out List Perfectly. Again, I'll leave my affiliate down below. It's a reseller's passion. You get 30% off the first month. And I decided to try List Perfectly. I'm still not interested in having a VA. I don't hire anyone to share my closet. To me, that is not, financially, even if it's only $20 a week, that $20, I'd rather have that $20. So I do have a technique, and I'll talk about listing my sharing first, then, and then go back to List Perfectly. I get up in the morning, maybe do that first bathroom run, and I'll get back into bed because I like to lay in my bed. I'm not in a rush. Some people want to get up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I did that with my children, and my body still wakes me up every day at 6 o'clock. And I go, oh, I don't have anywhere to be. I don't want to be in my office at 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't even want to be on a treadmill at 6 o'clock in the morning. But that's me. I'm 51. I don't want to do that. I work out during the course of the day when I finally get up. When I finally have my coffee, then I'm doing some other stuff. So at 6, after I've done that first, you wake up, that first run, and I'm still on my 6 o'clock schedule that I have been on since my children were very young. I'll lay in the bed and I'll share my whole closet one time. Now, if you have over 1,200 and some items, that may not work for you. You probably have to get creative. I used to have 1,200 items. Now I'm keeping my items at a 500, range, no more than that. And so I'll share my whole closet, and then I'll probably go back to sleep. If I'm up, if I want to be up, I'll probably read or something like that. But for the most part, I'm laying in my bed till about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. I'll go back to sleep, and then at 9, I'll get back up, run around and do all the batching and things that I just talked about before. And then at the 12 o'clock party, if it's something that interests me, like my favorite is like the Converse party. I like the Free People party. I don't have any like Gucci and stuff like that. Actually, I just got a new Gucci or a vintage Gucci bag in, but I'll pick a party that I can share to. And that's what I'll do. So I'll probably share my whole closet once and pick 1 or 2 parties during the day. And that's it. I don't even mess around with the 10 o'clock party because by then I'm tired or whatever. So you have to figure out, I don't believe you have to share your closet 2 to 5 times a day for you. I think the listing with any platform, if you're listing, then that's where you're going to make your sales from. Okay, so back to the cross listing. So now that I use List Perfectly, I have 2 Etsy stores that I can cross list from. I have Poshmark, Mercari, and because I'm now using List Perfectly, that cross listing platform, I opened my eBay store back up and just got a new store, called it a Reseller's Passion. Before it used to be Leslie's Fashion Boutique. And so now I have the ability to cross list. Cross listing to me is the same thing as listing. So I gave you the example of batch working. Then I come and I put my items into a draft, and then I start going through and listing them. What I do is I'll list into Poshmark first, right? And then the next day or the day after, that's when I cross list. I don't list on Poshmark and then cross list to Mercari and eBay. Even though they're different platforms, I spend my time wisely. And I do the same thing with relisting. So with the cross listing app, you can relist back into itself. It's similar to copy listing feature on Poshmark, but it doesn't have any like 60-day limitations or anything like that. So cross listing and relisting to me are the same as listing something new. So I break it down. Everyone is different. I don't list on Poshmark 20 items and go, okay, now I got to cross list them. I'll list my 20 items, share my closet, and I'm probably done for the day. And then I'll decide what I'm going to do. Now, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I go live on Thursdays, so I try not to do a whole lot. And every now and then I go live on Tuesday, and that's live here on YouTube with a guest. So I try not to schedule a whole lot in my day because I do allow myself, if I want to take a nap or something, because I don't go live until 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what I'll do on Tuesdays and Thursdays, that's what I call my days where I sit in my chair, because I've taken my photos on Monday. So on Tuesday, the photos that I took, that's when I sit at my computer here and I list. And then that way, and that's another way I get to rest and relax, because I'll sit in my chair, I'll turn on Netflix, Hulu, or whatever, and I'll list everything that's in my drafts. And I do it in such a relaxing way. Everything that I do in my business is relaxing. I have no stress in my business because I worked a job for a long time. I worked from the time I was 14, raised my children. I left my last job at 49. I'm now 51. So I do everything in a way that I don't stress. I don't want to stress for my business the way I was stressing at someone else's job. So today I'm sitting in my chair, and actually this is what I'm doing today. Aside from filming this video, I sit in my chair and I'm just, listing or doing whatever I want on the computer. This is when I can have fun on Instagram. This is when I can answer my emails. This is when I can invite people to be on my podcast or on my YouTube channel. It's my sit down day. Thursday is a sit down day. Monday and Wednesdays are move around days where I'm doing stuff all over the place. Saturday, a lot of the times I get shipments from a lot of the places like Jomar or whatever. Those are the days that I've decided to make my videos and do unboxings and things like that so that I'm not overwhelming myself. And that's basically, it in a nutshell. Okay, so hopefully I wasn't all over the place. You're watching this going like, I'm waiting for the magic. You're waiting for the magic. There is no magic. The magic is creating your own schedule that works for you and playing around. I do consultations, so I help people try to figure out like how to build their business, how to create schedule, how to create budget, things like that. We talk about a lot of things, especially as women. I'm pretty sure men watch it, so I don't want anyone to be out. But women, we take so much on, and we're always thinking ahead, and we have to tell our brain to kind of just chill for a little bit until our body can catch up with it. And that's what I do. I'm older. I'm not 25 anymore, so I can't do all the things that I want to do. I can, but at a slower pace. But then I don't want to either. I'm okay with saying no. I'm saying no more. I'm not committing to anything that doesn't interest me and I'm not interested in. I said not doesn't interest me. That's my blooper for the video. So you have to really come to a place and decide where you want to be. What does your schedule look like? But you have to continue playing around. I did a consultation this week. That's where I started off with until I went on a whole nother thing. And I was saying to the person that I was talking to, really try to come up with a schedule that works for you. If the first schedule doesn't work, keep working on it until it flows. That's the thing. Now, life changes. You can't, control what happens in life a lot of the times, right? But you can control how you handle it and how you handle situations. So you have to be able to curve around it. You have to be able to pivot, right? If, your babysitter doesn't work out, or even now a lot of people you're affected virtually, you have to now come up with another plan. Life is not going to stop for you, so now you have to figure out how to pivot around it. And that's what I've done. 2020 has been the year of pivoting, changing, growing, stepping further out of my comfort zone and doing those things that I think that I otherwise couldn't do. So create yourself a schedule that works for you. My schedule works for me. And you have to create something. Don't look at my life and go like, I want to be like Leslie. Be the best version of yourself that you can be. Because I don't want to be anybody but me. I don't want to be like anybody but me. I want to be the best version of myself. And that's what I'm working on every single day. Creating a schedule and a lifestyle that works for Leslie. Because I'm the person who pays the bills. So I create a schedule and a lifestyle that works for me. So I would love to hear in the comments what kind of schedule you have. What ideas you have. Send me a DM at A Reseller's Passion. I answer all my DMs if you want a couple suggestions, and maybe consider buying my ebook. I'll leave it below, and there's also like a little curly arrow that's pointing to the click. You can just click it and it'll open up to my ebook. Right now, it's December. Till December, the end of December, they're $8. They'll go back up to $19 after that. But if I can help you in any kind of way or guide you in any kind of way, just maybe by a word or something like that, you can do this. You can do it. Thank you for watching.